let's do it. Laya? Laya, wake up. I said wake up. The familiar, incessant urging cuts through the darkness, but it takes me a second to push through the murkiness in my mind to recall whose voice it is. Teddy. Actually, I think I'm a female. Gonna be a D-voiced female. Laya, this isn't funny anymore. Wake up already. Despite the forced casualness to her voice, there's a tone of concern and fear that I've never heard before, and it's the instinctive reaction to comfort her that pushes me to pry my eyes open. Teddy, what happened? Teddy's worried frown swims into focus, and it immediately melts into a relieved expression when I manage to push myself up to a sitting position. Finally! Honestly, if you wanted to sleep, you could have chosen a better location than the middle of nowhere. Teddy's mouth is downturned as usual, but the way she keeps shooting me glances out of the corner of her eyes bellies her inner concern. I can really tell. Oops. Wait, okay. Save. That's a really good spot to save. Okay. I can't help but smile at the bear in front of me, and I reach out and pull her into a hug, ignoring her yelp of protest. Thank you for coming to find me, Teddy. She lets out a small growl, still squirming in my arms for a moment longer before giving up and going still. My cat just jumped up on my desk, and I'm afraid he's going to climb up top of my laptop right now. I'll just go behind the laptop. Or you can sit on my lap. Here. Let's see if he wants to sit here. You staying? Yes, I'm sure I want to overwrite that save. Where are you going? Where are you going, cat? No, you can't just stand in between me and the monitor like that. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, just chill here. Just chill on my lap. Oh my goodness. I guess you could go there, Panther, but let's continue with the story. Let me go, you idiot human! I hide a chuckle, knowing she could probably swipe me with her paw if I point out how she's leaning her head into my touch as I stroke her fur gently. Who would have thought the little bear cub I saved a year ago would grow up to be such an adorable companion? What happened? Where are we? Don't ask me. I woke up to find no sign of you anywhere, without even leaving behind a note. So I tracked you down with my nose, found you here, lying on the ground, completely out cold. What in the world were you doing, Alaya? You wouldn't even wake up when I called you. Nothing. I just went out for some early training and fell asleep when I sat down to rest. That's all. Feeling Teddy's probing gaze search my face, I lower my eyes, hoping Teddy can't smell my dishonesty. Another blackout. Another few hours of my memory gone. I'm still no closer to figuring out the reason for it or what happens during the hours that I have no recollection of. So far, I've been able to keep this a secret from others, but with the increasing frequency of these incidents, I won't be able to hide it much longer. I haven't even been able to focus on my training lately, always fearful of when I'll lose consciousness next. My cat is climbing over me again, narrating my life. Come on, just sit here, Panther. Just sit down. Just sit down. Now, if I hit auto, is that gonna skip the text, or is that going to auto save? Alright, let's get back to the story. Lyle thinks they're being subtle with their questions, but I can tell their suspicion is growing every time they catch me staring blankly at thin air, my mind a million miles away while going through the motions of sword training. Are you certain about that? Of course, why would I ever lie to you? Even I wince at the overly bright tone of my voice, and I hold my breath, waiting for Teddy's response. A beat of silence. Then she gives a loud sniff and twists out of my grasp, taking a few steps backwards. If you insist, I don't particularly care to know anyway. Since I've confirmed that you haven't managed to get yourself into some sort of trouble, yet at the least, I'll be leaving now. Undeterred by Teddy's hostility, I reach out and give her head a gentle pat, smiling. I'll be fine on my own. Thanks, Teddy. Then I'll see you back at home tonight. Try not to do anything stupid. Teddy shoots me one last glance before dropping to all fours and scampering off, her small figure soon disappearing among the trees. My smile fades as soon as Teddy is out of sight, and I slowly scramble to my feet, wobbling on uncertain legs like a newborn foal. Mother of souls, what happened to me while I was out? I feel like I've just been run over by a herd of horses. With every step I take, my aching muscles protest loudly. I can only grit my teeth and press on, hoping to return home as soon as possible. I'm back! A relieved sigh escapes at the familiar sight of the town square. Almost there. In spite of my active attempts not to think about the blackout, I can't help but keep dwelling on it, racking my brain to try and recall anything about the hours I was gone. Was I sleepwalking? No. This has happened before, in the middle of the day, when I was most certainly not asleep. I just forgot that. Just right now, you know. I haven't consumed any alcohol either, so it couldn't be that. I'm only 18, I can't drink. What is happening to me, and why can't I remember anything that happened? No, I need to stop thinking about this. This isn't going to help at all. Think happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. With my head down, my eyes blurry and unfocused, I don't even notice Lyle passing by with a group of mages from the guild before it's too late. Lyle, are you alright? Crap. I freeze, stopping dead in my tracks, and immediately turn around to head in the opposite direction, pretending not to see them. Lyle sounds like they are leaning close to my ear when they speak again, amusement evident in their voice. I think Lyle is a guy? I know it's you. Are you trying to hide from me? Forcing a small laugh, I twist around to look up at Lyle with an embarrassed smile. Hee hee. Oh, hi Lyle. I didn't see you there. I'm sure you didn't. Although Lyle's voice is muted as usual, they sound like they are trying to suppress a laugh. A muted voice. Well, I think I messed that one up. Right. Well, I'm kind of in a hurry, so I'll talk to you later. See you. I take a step back, intent on escaping before Lyle gets the truth out of me, but Lyle's hand, landing gently on my shoulder, causes me to pause. Alaya? What's the matter? You've been acting strange for... Hold on. Immersion ruined. Immersion ruined. Immersion ruined. Okay. You've been acting strange for the last couple of weeks. I'm fine. Really. No, you aren't. I know that expression. That's your classic fretting face. I'm not fretting. Yes, you absolutely are. I know you too well for you to lie about that. Whenever you begin to obsess over a worrying idea you've got in your head, which is every other day, by the way, you get this pinch between your eyebrows and a twist to your mouth. I've seen it too many times not to recognize it by now. I take a deep breath and manage a smile that's more natural and genuine as I give Lyle a playful nudge with my elbow. Stop studying my face and go study your spellbooks, Lyle. Alaya, what is it? Is it your leg? Is the wound still bothering you? It's been a week, hasn't it? Perhaps you should seek a medic. No, it's healing. The creature barely scratched me. My sentence trails off into silence when a sudden thought hits me. My blackouts have been occurring almost daily for the past week, ever since I received that wound from the creature. The thought hit me really hard. Could the two things be related somehow? There were occasional reports of sickness or unusual fatigue after prolonged exposure to the creatures, a curable side effect to the illness that plagues these creatures and turns them into violent, mindless monsters that attack any and all humans. Could this be another new side effect of the plague? If so, perhaps I'm not the only one who has experienced this, considering how many creatures us vassals fight every day. Maybe I should ask around. Maybe I'll find an explanation to these strange things that have been happening to me. Alaya? Jerking out of my thoughts, I realize Lyle has been waiting patiently for me to return my attention to them, and I give them a sheepish smile. Sorry, just thinking. Worrying, you mean? Perhaps. Lyle sighs, but doesn't push the issue any further. Well, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here. You know what? I changed my mind. Yes, I do want to talk about it after all. My cat walked in front of my screen again. To their credit, Lyle merely... See, they keep saying there. Maybe gender... He's a gender neutral, non-gendered person? Okay. To their credit, Lyle merely raises an eyebrow in amusement. Too used to my... That doesn't look right. Too used to my impulsiveness by now. Go on. Listen, Lyle. Have you ever... I bite my lip. My cat is... Okay. I bite my lip, fumbling for the right words to describe what I want to say. Lyle makes a small hum, giving me an encouraging nod and a patient smile. Well, I know this will sound really strange, but have you ever just blacked out suddenly for no discernible reason, and then woke up with no memory at all of what happened, often in the strangest places? All laughter immediately leaves Lyle's eyes, and their sudden change in expression makes my heart leap, whether in hope or fear. I can't tell. You wake up feeling exhausted and sore, as though you've just been on the losing side of a tavern brawl, right? Yes, exactly. I press on, leaning in closer to Lyle and peering at them intently. So you have heard about this happening to people before? Lyle hesitates for the briefest moment. Their expression changes almost imperceptibly, something I wouldn't have picked up if I hadn't known them for years. Yes, I have. Been going through that myself, actually. It takes a moment for Lyle's casual confession to sink in, and when it finally does, my eyes widen in shock, my jaw almost dropping to the ground. That was not what I was expecting at all. Wait, you too? Why haven't you told me? How long has this been going on? Do you know why this is happening? What's wrong with us? The same reason you didn't tell me until now, I suppose. I've been trying to figure this out by myself, but I haven't gotten any ideas yet. The breath I didn't realize I'd been holding rushes out of me, and I deflate in disappointment. Oh, I had hoped. I gave my head a small shake, trying to chase the sadness away. No, I shouldn't feel let down. The important thing is that I have to carry this secret. I don't have to carry this secret by myself anymore. I have Lyle. We can figure this out together. I'm sorry I can't be of help. I shake my head, hooking my arm around Lyle's. It's not your fault. Besides, I'm sure we can find out the reason in no time, if we work together. Yes, I'm sure we will. I turn my head to beam at them, but the smile they returns is hesitant, always reluctant. Confused, I tilt my head at them, studying their expression. Is it just me, or do they keep avoiding my eyes? Well, he's looking this way, and you're looking... Well, your back is faced to him. It's kind of weird. Chalking it down to my paranoia, I brush the thoughts away and nudge them in the side gently. You know, I've been thinking. If we're both suffering from the strange phenomenon, I think it's likely that we aren't the only ones. I think we should ask around the guild hall to see if anyone else has heard of or is experiencing this kind of problem. No! The word busts out of Lyle's mouth at a volume 3 times higher than their usually speaking level. I don't know if I should be saying, I don't know if this game crashes or anything, and I take a step back in shock and confusion. No? I watch Lyle takes a deep breath, and when they speak again, they are back to their normal, gentle tone, a slightly apologetic smile tugging at their lips. I don't think we should act rashly. I cross my arm, pursing my lips. Why not? I don't think asking around for information is considered a rash action. This is potentially a serious problem. We need to handle this subtly and avoid drawing attention to ourselves. Or else, we could lose our status as one of Airis' vassals if they believe we aren't fit to protect the kingdom anymore. Although I was prepared to argue for my suggestion, the words die in my throat when Lyle's words sink in. Of course, I should have known Lyle would raise the argument relating to the one thing I can't risk, my job as a vassal for the country. I spent 5 years training every day to be the best vessel I can, to protect the people like my... Perhaps Lyle has a point. We should keep this as quiet as possible. Yet something doesn't sit quite right with me, and I can't ignore the feeling deep in my gut that tells me that I should begin by asking around for any information I can get my hands on. Question, what should I do? Is Lyle right? Should we keep this matter to ourselves? Insist on asking the other vassals in the guild. Ask a trusted friend like Everia to ask for information. Compromise and ask only a couple trusted guildmates. My stomach churns in anxiety, and I pluck at a stray thread on my sleeves, deep in thought. I can't say Lyle's wrong, but I need to know what's happening to me. The memory of Teddy's fearful voice as she tries to wake me earlier flashes across my mind, and I swallow hard. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I need to know. Maybe we can come to a compromise, Lyle? Instead of asking around the guild personally, what if I ask Everia to keep an ear out for any hint of information? Or perhaps she'd even be willing to subtly ask a few friends to see if anyone has experienced any blackouts. Everia is the warrior with the highest rank in the guild. Even the king respects her. Nobody will doubt her ability to be a vassal of Airis, even if they suspect she's suffering from periods of unconsciousness. Lyle bites their lip, clearly trying to find an argument against my suggestion. Yes, I admit that would initially avoid suspicion from falling on us. But what if Everia accidentally let it slip that you are the one who asked about it? You know it's likely nobody will know anything more than we do. Do you really think it's worth this risk? Yes. Lyle seems surprised at my firm, swift response, and falls silent, bowing their head. Lyle, I'm trying to come to a compromise because I respect and share your concerns. I know what you fear, but... Lyle, even if there is no one else suffering from the same... Oops. Immersion ruined. There's no one else suffering from the same blackouts, which I highly doubt is the case anyway. Don't you think we have a duty to warn the others? We have sworn to protect the country and protect the people of Airis. If this is a new sort of sickness, we cannot keep this to ourselves. Lyle still doesn't speak, but their face betrays a desire to speak, to disagree with me further, perhaps. I'm going to take a drink of water. Eventually, Lyle exhales loudly and spreads their hands in front of them with a shrug. Well, I don't really have a choice. I can't stop you anyway. You'd never budge as soon as it involves protecting other people. Relieved that I don't have to argue with my best friend anymore, I flash Lyle an impish grin. I just take my job seriously. Instead of cracking a rueful smile like I expected them to, Lyle only shrugs and sighs yet again. This time, I'm certain that Lyle is avoiding my eyes on purpose. Disconcerted by Lyle's strange demeanor, I turn away and stretch my arms above my head, realizing that some of my earlier fatigue has faded during our conversation. Still looking away from them, I tip my head in the direction of the guild hall. So shall we go to the guild hall? There's no time like the present, right? Right. If you want to. Pretending not to notice the lack of enthusiasm in their distracted answer, I give them a warm smile. You coming? No, I'm afraid not. I have somewhere I need to be. An urgent matter. I raise an eyebrow, crossing my arms in front of my chest. What are you doing here? Oh, you didn't mention that when you stopped me in the middle of the street to talk. Yes, I just suddenly remembered I have a prior engagement. I'm going to be late, so I must run. I'll see you tomorrow, Aliyah. Still not meeting my eyes, Lyle bobs their head in a quick farewell and rushes off, their strides long and hurried. I can only stare after Lyle's retreating back, feeling a deep unease. Is Lyle hiding something from me? If so, what could it possibly be? Okay. So this must be Airis. You've really never heard of someone experiencing that? Well, not unless they've consumed too much alcohol, no. Are you sure? Can you think harder? You know of everything that happens in the guild. You've never overheard anyone complaining about a hole in their memory, or waking up in strange places they don't remember going to? I realize that my voice has continuously risen in volume as my anxiety grows. I immediately duck my head, lowering my tone to a whisper, but it's too late. I can feel someone staring at my back, and a quick glance behind me confirms my suspicions. There's a vaguely familiar man, hovering near the quest board in the hall, his spectacles glinting in the flickering light of a nearby lamp as he tilts his head in my direction. Sorry. Click the wrong mouse button. Because in this game, left mouse or right mouse click pulls up this menu, and left mouse click does everything else. So I just accidentally clicked the wrong one. I really haven't heard anything about that. Why? Is it important? Mindful of the stranger's burning gaze on me still, I force a casual smile, though it probably comes out more like a grimace. Not particularly, no. Are you alright, Aliyah? Why are you suddenly asking me odd things like that? Have you finally lost your mind to fatigue from your constant training? See, I warned you about that. It doesn't matter how much you train, you'd never beat me anyway. Airis flashes me an impish smile, and I return the smile weakly. I'm sad. No, nothing really. No reason. Don't worry about it. Airis clearly doesn't believe me, and I lean in closer, lowering my voice to a whisper. Listen, could I ask you for a favor? Of course. What is it? Can you keep an ear out for any information about blackouts like the one I described? Or perhaps try to find out for me if anyone has heard of this happening. Averia's brows furrow in confusion, but she agrees readily, with a small nod. Of course. But what's going on, Aaliyah? If you've ever run into some sort of trouble, you can tell me. You know. I try my best to help. Her genuine concern brings a real smile to my face, and I touch her arm lightly in gratitude. It's nothing like that, Evie. But thanks to you, it's good to know that you have my back. The doubt lingers in Averia's eyes, but she gives a curt nod. I'll let you know if I hear anything. Thank you. With one last grateful smile, I leave her table and head towards a quiet corner of the guild hall, wanting to get as far away from the searching eyes of the stranger as possible. I take a sip from my drink slowly, using the opportunity to peek to my left. Yup, he's still glaring at me, his brows furrowed as though he's tried to figure out the world's biggest mystery. I probably shouldn't linger around here anymore. Damn it. Lyle's going to be really upset when they hear about how I've messed up. And in the end, I didn't even learn anything useful at all. I can only hope Averia will bring good news at some point. Oh shit. Come on, Panther, you can't attack the cords. With a heavy sigh, I down my beer in one gulp and slam the empty glass back onto the table, pushing myself to my feet. Troubled? Mother of... Who the hell are you? Do you have a habit of sneaking up on people? I spin around to stare in anger at the cause of my near heart attack, but I falter at the sight of the stranger from earlier. It's him, the weird guy who probably overheard what I was saying to Averia. What does he want? My stomach begins to tie itself into knots, and I instinctively take a step back, my back bumping into the corner of the table. Ugh. His gaze darts to my back, pressed up against the table, and his face transforms into a friendly, reassuring smile that, strangely enough, makes me relax just a bit. I'm sorry, have I startled you? My name is Kylan. It's a pleasure to meet you. Eyeing him with suspicion, I can only manage a curt nod and a terse answer. Terse? I actually don't know what that word means. Immersion ruined. Abrupt. Huh, okay. Aaliyah, nice to meet you. Better save it. Aaliyah, I think I've heard that name somewhere before. He tilts his head, his brows furrowing in concentration as he thinks. Oh, I know who you are. You're one of the warriors in the front lines of the... what's the name of that battle again? The raid on the Wraith's Nest a couple years back? You were awarded a Bravier for your heroic acts, weren't you? Despite myself, I can't help but return his smile, standing just a little straighter. Yeah, I was. I'm surprised you remember that. I just have a good memory, and I like to keep up with news about the vassals. Wink. I used to be one, you see, before I retired a few years back. Retired? My eyebrows raising. I sweep my gaze over his figure. He looks barely older than me. How can he be retired already? Catching my eyes, Kylan's smile grows as he taps his left shoulder with one finger. Injured in battle, never quite recovered the same. Oh, I see. A wave of sympathy rushes over me. Just the thought of having to give up my dream of being a vassal for the country, protecting the people with my sword. Were the medics unable to heal the injury? I hear they can perform some pretty miraculous feats with their healing magic. Kylan shakes his head slowly, with a small smile tinged with sadness. Poisoned fangs saved my life by purifying the poison, but can't fix the damaged muscles in my shoulder. As powerful as the healers are, they can't cure everything, a concern that I believe you share as well. My gaze sharpens at the knowing glint in his eyes, and I realize with a start he's referring to what he overheard from my conversation earlier. Damn it! He got my guard down. I should have left as soon as he approached me. I don't know what you're talking about. At my stilted reply, Kylan lowers his voice, adopting a soothing tone. Look, I don't mean any harm. I just overheard what you said to your friend earlier, and I think that I may be able to help with your problem. That's all. You can trust me. When he speaks, I've taken the opportunity to inch away from him, trying to think of ways to extricate myself from this conversation, but his words give me pause. He thinks he can help with my situation? Should I stay and hear what he has to say or leave before the situation escalates further? I'll hear him out. Crossing my arms in front of my chest. I slide him a suspicious look out of the corner of my eyes. I'm listening. Kylan adjusts his glasses, a smile tugging at the corner of his lips. Thank you for not running. Well, after I retired from being a vassal, I began to spend all my days researching magical cures, potions, and the like, to heal my shoulder, you see. I think I might have something that can ease the symptoms of your affliction. My heart begins to pound in hope, and I turn to face Kylan fully. What about a cure? Do you know what kind of illness this is? I'm afraid not, I apologize. I exhale loudly, closing my eyes from the bitter disappointment. Of course, I should have known. However, if you agree to aid me in my research, I can work on finding a cure to your problem. At the eager tone of his voice, and a curious glint in his eyes, my guard rises again. Research? No. This is too risky. I know nothing about this guy, and for all I know, he's planning to conduct strange experiments on me for his sadistic pleasure. You know it. Thank you for your kind offer, but I believe I'll pass. Look, I promise that this will be completely harmless. It's just, I'm afraid it's still a no. I must leave now. It was nice meeting you. Goodbye. Wait! Shrugging his hand off my arm, I make a B line. I'm pretty sure that should be B-line for the exit. Thankfully, when I turn my head to peek over my shoulder, I see that Kylan has decided not to give chase, merely staring after me with a confused frown. Honestly, did you have to make me come along for this sort of simple quest? You're just delivering some packages from one end of town to the other. You don't need me here. Pausing to catch my breath, I plop down to the ground and begin to fan myself. Whew. Next to me, Teddy raises up 2 legs and pokes me with one paw. Ow! Hey, don't ignore me! I reach out to give her a gentle pat on the head, smiling at the pout on her face. I just wanted to spend some time with you. You don't mind keeping me company, do you? I hide a grin when she drops back to all fours, her nose in the air. Stop wasting time then, let's go. Mother of souls, Teddy, it's boiling hot today. Let me take a break. I'm about to die from heat exhaustion. It's your fault for taking this kind of quest. You aren't a novice vassal. There are better quests more worthy of your time. I bite my lip, staying silent as I continue to fan myself. I can't exactly tell Teddy that I need all the quests I can get to keep my mind off things. Immediately, the blackouts and Kylan's offer pop into my head, and I try to push the thoughts away. The shopkeeper offered decent rewards. I could use the gold. Don't you already have... Teddy doesn't get a chance to finish her sentence because a familiar voice rings out above us, making us lift our heads. Huh? Aaliyah, hey, what are you doing here? Oh, hey, Averia. What are you doing here? Aren't you doing physical training with Lyle today? Lyle seemed distracted out of sorts today, so we called it quits early. You wouldn't happen to know what's bothering them, would you? I can make a wild guess, but I doubt Lyle would be happy with me telling Averia about the truth. Sensing my hesitation, Averia shrugs with a grin. Man, those orange eyes are... Wait, orange eyes also? Conspiracy? You don't have to tell me. Anyway, what's with the gigantic cart? Did you go on a shopping spree again? I did not. It's for a quest. I'm delivering goods for a shopkeeper. Averia raises an eyebrow, glancing at the cart again. Since when do you accept quests other than the ones that require you to swing your sword at things? That's what I said as well. See, even Teddy agrees with me. Shooting the two of them a playful glare, I duck my head, hating that I have to lie to them. I just need the gold. Well, shucks, Aaliyah. If you needed the gold, you can just go on another run through a dungeon with me. We had pretty good loot yesterday, didn't we? Yesterday? Did you forget already? We cleared the Cavern of Deception yesterday together, along with Ridri and Darren. The alarm bells go in my head, slowly begin to go off, and my breathing hitches when I realize I have absolutely no memory of the dungeon run at all. That's not hitches. In fact, until Averia pointed it out, I don't even realize that my entire afternoon from yesterday is a complete blank in my mind. Are you alright, Aaliyah? You just suddenly went pale, even paler than normal. I'm fine. Sorry, I'd love to talk, but I need to hurry and finish this quest. I'll see you around, Averia. Oh, alright, see you. Flashing her an apologetic glance, I grab the handles of the cart and begin to push it forward down the road, slowly increasing my pace until I'm almost running. Teddy scampers after me, shouting at me to wait up. Aaliyah, you idiot! This is the wrong way! You took the wrong turn! Panting, I can barely force the words out of my breath in between my gasps for air. No. Need to find someone first. Who? Seeing the guild hall building come into view, I skid to a halt, causing Teddy to stumble over her feet. Wait here. Watch the cart. Ignoring Teddy's baffled cries, I dart into the guild hall. Transition. Oh, what did I just do? Wait. Why did it just say 99? Oh, okay, whatever. As expected at this time of day, the guild hall is packed with people, mostly vassals taking a lunch break from their various quests and practice sessions. Anxiously, I sweep my gaze across the room, looking for a glimpse of Kylan's strange clothing. It's a long shot, but the only time I met him here was here 2 days ago. Oh, okay, so that happened 2 days ago. So I don't know where else I can go to find him. Fancy seeing you again. That was too high. I whip around to the sound of his voice, coming face to face with Kylan, leaning against the wall with a small smile. There you are. Looking for me? Now that I'm actually talking to him, I can't shake the growing feeling of regret. I had no reason to trust him last time I turned down his offer, and I still don't. Maybe I should have thought about this more before taking off to find him. Well, yes. I bite my lip. Hard enough that I can taste the salty tang of blood. I don't really have a choice, do I? I have to take this leap of faith. You know why I'm here. I expect Kylan to play dumb and make things difficult for me, but instead, a charming smile spreads across his face. He straightens to his full height, taking a step closer. You need my help? Yes. If he could sense the reluctance in my voice, he didn't point it out. You changed your mind. Are you not concerned that I'll trick you into drinking a poisonous potion, or perhaps conduct painful experiments on you to discover the source of your illness? Wink. Startled at the fact that Kylan practically just vocalized my internal fears, I shoot him a glance, uncertain whether he's joking or not. The The slightly sardonic smile on his face irritates me for some reason, and I have to force myself to sound casual and unconcerned when I reply. Maybe I'm a masochist who has a death wish. I don't mind trying new things. I have nothing to lose. Kylan pauses for a brief moment before chuckling, flashing me a smile. Well, if that's what you're into, I won't judge you. Just don't be too disappointed when you discover the kind of help I have in mind. I'll try to restrain my devastation. Kylan's smile widens as he takes a small step forward. Alright, you've won me over. I'll help. But first you have to tell me everything you can about your problem. Your symptoms, when it began, what you think triggered it, everything you can think of. Remembering Lyle's warning. Oops, I can't help but hesitate. As though sensing my train of thoughts, Kylan clucks his tongue. If you want me to help, you have to trust me. Trust him? Easier said than done. Can't you just give me your potion? You said you have one that might work, right? I don't have it anymore, but before you slap me for deceiving you and run off in anger, I should mention that I have written it down somewhere how to make the potion, so I can recreate it as long as I have the ingredients, which I don't. So I'll need to go into the mines of mischief to grab the ingredients I need for the mixture. I can do that. What do you need? No, I'll need to go in person with you. I have a specific method of extracting the ingredients I need. Narrowing my eyes at him, I give in with a sigh. Fine. I'll see if my friends can come along. Perhaps my animal companion as well. Right there. What's the animal? Leah? We could use the extra firepower. Kylan looks like he wants to argue, but I continue cheerfully, ignoring the way Kylan's lips have thinned in disapproval. If you want me to trust you, you'll have to trust me on this. Do we have a deal? Kylan's expression doesn't change as he thinks over my offer. But eventually he breaks out into an easy grin, so genuine that one would find it hard to believe he was against the idea of forming a party just a few seconds ago. Deal. Now tell me everything you know. For the first time in days, I feel the faint stirrings of hope inside. Deep inside. And despite my distrust towards Kylan still, I find myself sincerely thanking him. To my surprise, Kylan's face clouds over instead, and even as he recovers with a smile, the shadows continue to lurk in his eyes. Oh yeah. Once again, the doubts begin to resurface in my mind. Did I make the right decision when I chose to trust him? Probably not, but it's all good. Oh, it's Lyle. Are you certain about this, Isla? Aaliyah? Can we trust that stranger? Can we trust that stranger? Avoiding Lyle's eyes and focusing on polishing the sword in my hand, I can only manage a shrug. Man, this drink has been here a while. We don't have a choice. Oh, okay. Sorry. Immersion ruined. We don't have a choice. Yes, we do. It's not necessary to... I'm not going to just sit here and wait for whatever this is to pass, Lyle. I'm not going to spend more sleepless nights worrying about waking up somewhere I don't remember going, or being unable to recall the events of the previous day. And you're sure this suspicious person can give us a cure? I'm not, but at least we're doing something. I exhale loudly, turning away from Lyle. You don't have to come along with me, you know. I know you disagree with my choice. The silence drags on as I switch to stroking Teddy's head, who has dozed off with her head in my lap. Finally, Lyle speaks with a long sigh. You're right. I don't agree with your decision, but I'm not going to let you go into that dungeon alone with him. I don't trust him. Rolling my eyes at their overprotectiveness, I flash Lyle's small smile. Smile? I'd be done. I'd be fine. I have Teddy with me. But I'm still glad you're coming. Lyle doesn't respond, just giving a non-committal hum. Hey, sorry I'm late, aren't I? Had to go pick up my repaired armor from the blacksmith. Both of our heads snap in unison to see Averia sliding into a seat at our table, casually swiping Lyle's drink and taking a sip. That was a really bad sip. Averia, thanks for coming. Nah, thanks for inviting me along. The two of you probably could have handled this quest easily, so it's kind of you to let me tag along and split the reward. It's gonna be so much fun. Averia beams in excitement, but I lift my hand to stop her from continuing to speak. Wait, Averia. Didn't I tell you that it's not really a quest, so there's no reward money involved? I could have sworn I did. We're just helping a friend of mine get the materials he needs from the Mines of Mischief for a potion he's working on. Averia's smile freezes for a brief moment, but then she chuckles with a wink. Wink! No, you're right. My mistake. I mix this up with another invitation from another friend next week. Of course I'm down for this even without a reward. It'd be awesome to have an opportunity oh my god. It'd be awesome to have an opportunity to compete with you again. Just so you know, Aaliyah, I'm gonna kill the most creatures again this time, so you can stop hoping that you'll win for once. Shaking my head with a low laugh, Averia's occasional forgetfulness and spirited nature, I stick my tongue out at her. Bleh. I don't remember agreeing to a competition, but we'll see. Ready to go? At the familiar, interrupting voice, we all look to see Kylan approaching us with his long, eager strides. He has a strange bag hanging over his shoulder and a pouch banging from his belt, half hidden by his coat. Yes, Kylan, these are my friends. On the left is Lyle. They are an experienced mage who will double as our healer. To the right is Averia. She's the best warrior in the guild. Lyle, Averia, this is Kylan, the one I told you about. So these are the infamous Lyle and Averia. I've heard many things about you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Kylan reaches out to shake Averia's hand, and then Lyle's. The moment of awkward hesitation before Lyle takes Kylan's hand with a reluctance doesn't escape Averia's notice, but I pretend not to see her questioning look. This is a good party. I will try my best not to slow down the three of you with my rusty skills. Lyle makes a small sound of displeasure in the back of their throat, and I nudge them in the side as a warning before turning back to Kylan. It's fine. The Mines of Mischief isn't difficult to clear anyway. Perfect. Are you ready to get going? Always am. I slide Lyle a questioning look, who scowls but gives a small jerk of their head, and I take that as agreement. Yes, lead the way. Take a drink of water. This is a pretty good party. I've got a mage, a healer, sword, spear wielder, I believe, and then an animal companion to tank for us, and this guy who I don't even know. Save it before I go in the dungeon, in case I die. Our footsteps slowed to a halt in front of the entrance to the dungeon. Then Kylan steps forward, throwing his arms up in the air. This is it! We're here! I haven't been here in so long, yet nothing has changed. Kylan continues to look around, an almost childlike expression of excitement written all over his face. Some of my anxiety fades away at his obvious eagerness, and my sympathy from earlier when I first heard about his injury comes rushing back. Whoever this person is, however strange he may seem, it's clear he used to be a vassal like us, and he shares the same love for adventuring and dungeon raiding that we do. Especially Lyle, you can tell he's really excited about this. Great, so this is the glorified escort mission. How long has this guy been retired again? Teddy. Just speaking the truth, we're all thinking it anyway. Next to me, Lyle hides a smirk at Teddy's blunt remarks. I don't think he's hiding that smirk very well. Oh, I don't think they are hiding that smirk very well. and I'm grateful that only Lyle, Averia, and I share the magic link to Teddy and are able to understand her words. Oh. Well, okay, so apparently whenever she talks, it just goes, you know, but it's actually a person talking. Okay. Teddy, be nice. To be fair, Teddy isn't wrong. Kylan cocks his head at our exchange, his gaze flickering between Teddy and me with a curious, almost hungry glint in his eyes. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Unnerved by his intense glare, I gestured towards the open gate, clearing my throat. Oh, sorry. that was swallowing. Shall we? Right. Yes, of course. I'll go first. The four of you stay behind me. Oh, I guess I'm the tank. Like I need you protecting. This kind of dungeon is a piece of cake for me. Before I can react, Teddy has darted forward and into the dungeon, and I can only let out an exasperated chuckle before running after her. Epic battle music. Following the sound of Teddy's growls, we soon come to a relatively clear area, where a few abandoned minecarts still remain. I think right there's one, guys. Where did that boar go? I swear, Aaliyah, if you change your mind and want to sell her to a circus, I can help you. Incoming! My gaze flies to the opening of a tunnel just in time to see Teddy bounding towards us on all fours, leading what appears to be a pack of corrupted boars. Mother of souls, seriously, Teddy? I can barely hear Teddy's mischievous laugh about the thundering of the boars as they approach. This guy's looking pretty happy. Yes, he is. Averia and I shift into battle stance, lifting our weapons to prepare for combat. Next to me, Kyle slides his dagger out of its hiding place. Lyle almost quickly as they cast the protective enchantments on us. Lyle, get ready. On it! A second later, the first half of the pack of boars erupts into flames while fire continues to rain from the ceiling. Confused and enraged by the attack, we begin to lose formation, staggering and bumping into each other. Using the opening that Lyle's spell has given us, we charge towards the boars, slashing and deflecting blows with our swords. Teddy also joins the fight, swiping left and right with her paws, occasionally letting out growls of satisfaction when she manages to take down one. How many of these boars are there? With adrenaline pumping through my veins and my deafening heartbeat pounding in my ear, I throw myself deeper into battle, barely feeling the pain when a boar manages to draw blood with its tusks. With Lyle, Averia, and I chaining combination spells one after the other, the enemies fall one by one, disappearing into a puff of smoke, until there lay only a handful of the toughest ones left. And so focused on the creature in front of me that I almost didn't notice a stray boar creeping up on Kylan, who was doubled over in the back, trying to catch his breath. Oh, Kylan, look out! I try to disengage from my battle, but the boar refuses to give up, avoiding my distraction with a long, angry scratch down my leg. Ugh! I stumble back in pain, and a quick glance around confirms that everyone else is also locked in battle, unable to go to Kylan's rescue. Kylan! Finally hearing my warning shout, he lifts his head and turns around, just in time to see the boar about to launch an attack at him. I can only watch in horror as the boar begins to charge, and Kylan rolls nimbly to the side. Half-heartedly deflecting and avoiding the attacks of the boar in front of me, I continue to watch with growing surprise and respect as Kylan almost casually sidesteps the boar's attacks, one by one. A swift movement of Kylan suddenly darts behind me. With one stab, the creature returns to a puff of smoke, waiting to revive in a few hours when it gathers enough essence again. The boar I've been fighting collapsed to the ground with a squeal, and I look to the side to see Lyle casting a fireball in my direction, having finished taking care of the rest of the creatures in the room. Thanks, Lyle. Whew. Not like you to get distracted in battle. Brushing off the dirt in my armor, I gratefully hold up my leg as Lyle casts healing spells over my wounds. I thought Kylan was in trouble, wanted to go to him to help. I'm fine. I might be retired, but I still remember a few things. I turned to look to Kylan, who was slightly ruffled, but none of the worse for wear. That was pretty impressive. Very clean fight. Kylan smiles, returning his dagger into its hiding place. I I got lucky. The attack patterns of these boards are still the same. If they had changed, I wouldn't have been able to predict the moves, and I'd definitely be in trouble. Attack patterns? Kylan shrugs, a small smile still lingering on his lips. Everyone has an attack pattern, including the corrupted creatures. You just have to analyze it to know how to use it against them. Huh. Is that so? Despite not fully believing his words, since I don't think I've ever developed a pattern to my attacking moves, I can't help but nod in newfound respect for him. Kylan must have been a good vassal. Pity he got injured and had to retire early. Airis could have used a strong soldier like him. Did you get the ingredient you need from the boar? Yes. Yes, just need a sample from the wolves next. He plucks a peculiar shaped glass bottle and swirls the red liquid in it around. I make a face at the blood, and Kylan laughs while pocketing the bottle again. You're a warrior, yet you have that reaction to a bit of blood in a bottle? It's blood in a bottle. That's very different. It's blood. It's blood in a bottle. It's weird that this is italicized, because that means that it's saying it's blood in a bottle. That's very different. Don't listen to her, she's squeamish. You should see the way she squeezes her eyes shut and turns the other way whenever Lyle's tending to my wounds. That's not true. I'm blushing. Oh yeah, so you're tilting your body as far away from Kylan right now? Has absolutely nothing to do with the bottle of blood in his hand? Yes, definitely. Averia rolls her eyes with a giggle. And even Kylan chortles to himself, much to my embarrassment. You're fooling no one, Aaliyah. The sound of someone clearing their throat interrupts us, and I looked up to see Lyle tipping their head towards a different tunnel, having just finished Teddy's wounds. We should probably move on if we want to clear this dungeon before they revive. I don't want to deal with these again on our way out. Grinning in excitement, Averia can hardly keep herself from bouncing on the balls of her feet, stroking her beloved weapon. Okay. I wouldn't mind. Lyle doesn't even bother to reply, merely shaking their head with a laugh and heading for the next tunnel. I continue going deeper and deeper into the mines, almost getting lost a couple of times, thanks to the identical tunnels and rooms. Don't she have a map? Eventually, we decide to take a small break to replenish our energy and for Lyle to perform her healing spells on us. Excuse me. And we settle in a small corner of the room, nibbling at our bread. Surprisingly, instead of the chatty Averia, Lyle is the one who speaks up first. Perhaps even more surprisingly, their words are directed to Kylan, out of all of us. So Kylan, is it? Aaliyah said you're a retired vassal? Yes, shoulder injury. I can't really fight like I used to. Where do you come from? What do you mean? I know you aren't from around here. Where did you live before moving to this town? Realizing Lyle's intention to interrogate Kylan, I nudged them in the side, giving a discreet shake of my head, but they just give me an innocent smile. I came from somewhere far away. You wouldn't have heard of it. Really? You should mention it anyway. I read a lot of ancient and foreign scrolls while studying magic, so I might have heard of it. Well, it's in a different language. He mumbles a word with an obscene amount of syllables, and I have to stifle a giggle at Lyle's expression. You're right. Never heard of it. Yeah, I thought that'd be the case. Silence falls over us, somewhat awkward and uncomfortable, but after a minute, Lyle speaks again, a determined glint in his eyes. Why did you come here then, if your hometown is so far away? Kylan hesitates, and I quickly swallow the food in my mouth before turning to him in curiosity. I'd like to know too. Did you come here alone? Why would you make such an arduous adventure to a faraway land on your own? Kylan meets my eyes for a brief moment before looking away. Well, I'm an innovator, you see. They call me Scientist. I believe in new ideas, new creations, and oops. They call me a scientist. I believe in new ideas, new creations, and new theories. I wanted to explore the unknown, go further than anyone else has. I succeeded and ended up here. Fascinated, I leaned in closer, propping my chin up on my hand. I pretended not to know the way that Lyle has narrowed their eyes in suspicion, staring at Kylan as though they can read his mind through sheer willpower alone. Taking a drink of water, hold on. Mother of souls, that's incredible. Must have taken a lot of faith and determination. This Barrett is not like interested. Did you accidentally blow up a city with your new creations and end up here while on the run from authorities? Kylan chuckles at Averia's remark. Shaking his head. Nothing as exciting as that, unfortunately. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. I just decided to pack everything up, and I decided to leave. Really? Averia's lip curled to a mischievous smile. Not there, and she winks at me before replying to Kylan. Guess you're an impulsive idiot like Aaliyah, and here I thought you were the only one with a brain. Hey. I toss my bag at Averia, who catches it deftly with a laugh, before turning it back to Kylan with a smile. This sounds like quite an adventure. Did you leave anyone behind? Kylan hesitates again, but then gives a small shake of his head. I see. But do you still miss it? Your homeland? Kylan pauses, his lower lip disappearing between his teeth, a surprisingly uncertain gesture from this usually self-assured man. Yes, I do. I want to go home one day. I'm actually working on a way to get back. Really? Why? Don't you like it here? And you said you didn't leave anyone behind, right? I don't know. It's my home. I see. I duck my head, suddenly recalling the homesickness I used to feel when I was a fresh recruit, despite knowing full well that I could never return to my village. Why not? What the heck? Right. I can understand that. Sensing the change in my mood, Lyle hurriedly chimes in with a falsely positive tone, attempting to distract me from the turn of my thoughts have taken. Well, I think it's a waste of time to dwell on the past. We've all given ourselves to the country to serve as vassals. We all have nothing to lose, no one to lose, or else we wouldn't be accepted as a vassal in the first place. We should look ahead to the bright future we have, not our past. Averia seems oblivious to what Lyle is doing, and pipes up with her own remark, causing Lyle to glare at her in exasperation for not coming to their aid. I don't know, I haven't really thought about it, I guess. I know Lyle is trying to cheer me up, but maybe Lyle's right. It's impossible to forget about our past. I don't want to think about this. I would ask the chat, but I think there are 0 people watching. Nah. Even though Lyle's like my best friend when I was a baby, he's like a childhood friend of mine, I'm gonna disagree with him. If I close my eyes, I can still hear the desperate screams and cries. Smell the choking, thick smoke. See the dancing red flames consuming the... No. Not right now. Oh. Maybe that's why she can't go back to her village. My bad for making fun of her. With great effort, I managed to shove the memory away, tucking it back into the little box of dark thoughts in the corner of my mind. You're right. Of course. Silence falls over us. So I didn't even disagree with him. Silence falls over us, and I duck my head, taking another bite from my sandwich. Without a word, Teddy inches closer to me and rests her paw on my lap. I grin at her silent attempt to comfort me before scrambling to my feet with a smile, patting myself to get rid of the dust. Well, I'm done eating. Come on, we should go. No time to waste. I can feel Lyle's concerned stare burning into my back, and I slide them a reassuring look with a small shake of my head to dispel their worries. Alright, let's go then. Oh, sorry. Alright, let's go then. Yes, of course. I've almost got everything I need for the potions. Want me to lure the creatures to you again? No. For soul's sake, Teddy. You almost got us killed earlier. Teddy merely gives a growly chuckle before running off towards the nearest tunnel, completely ignoring my words. What an idiot. Teddy, if you don't get back here right now, I swear you'll get no honey for a week. I think she's coming back. Teddy? I can only chase after her, with an exasperated laugh, both Kylan and Lyle following close behind. What about, Asveria? I made it out of the cave. Stretching my arms above my head, I tipped my face toward the sun, closing my eyes to bask in the warm, soothing sunlight. With any luck, Kylan should contact me today or tomorrow, telling me to go pick up the finished potion, which will hopefully ease my symptoms and reduce the frequency of the blackouts. Thanks to the newfound hope Kylan has given me, I'm in a good mood today, even humming under my breath as I make my way towards the guild hall to meet up with Averia and Ridri for our dungeon run. I wonder what loot we'll get today. I really need more gold, don't we all? A sudden tap on my shoulder causes me to almost jump off my skin. I turn around, with my hand over my heart, to see Lyle standing in front of me, hands behind their back. Oh, hey. Don't hey me. Why haven't you been replying to my messages? I know you're busy because of exams, but it's not an excuse to ignore me. Huh? What are you talking about? What messages? Baffled, I can only blink my eyes at them in confusion. Lyle's gaze darts to the top of my head, and then their cheeks flush with a bright red. Lyle scurries away without another word, all while mumbling something under their breath to themselves. Okay, what in the world was that? Has Lyle been drinking this early in the morning? Yeah, that was pretty weird. I stare after Lyle, shaking my head in bewilderment. That was really weird. I agree. Part of me wants to chase after them to demand an explanation, but I have a more urgent matter to attend to. With one last confused glance at Lyle's retreating back, I continue onwards to the guild hall, excited to begin the day with the trip to the dungeons. And that's where I'm going to end for now. I have been playing for about 2 hours. No, not even. About an hour, maybe an hour and a half, but I'd say about an hour. I'm going to give the game a save. And as usual, thanks to no one for watching, because that's just how these streams usually go. Let's see. Yeah, about an hour and a half. So as for usual, thanks to no one for watching. I appreciate it. And